Let's talk PoE 2 Witch today, because the minion system is straight amazing. I got to play the Witch early at Gamescom. That's what the gameplay behind us is. And I kind of want to give you a feeling for how she plays in the early game, how the minion system works, and then we'll take a peek together at the ascendancies. I started the game and instantly stumbled up in two spells, a scepter with ray skeletons, and also the unearth spell. Unearth being super amazing fun. You shoot these bone spikes out of the ground to damage everyone in front of you, and if you kill an enemy, their corpse will be turned into these bone constructs that fight on your side. Essentially start into the game and already have a little army running with you. As I then enter the encampment, I talk to the blacksmith and get my first skill gem. And here you can already increase your army of minions. My choices were between the contagion spell, skeletal warriors, or just add skeletal snipers to the fray. And that's where the new spirit system comes into play, because you have to choose how many skeletal warriors do you want, how many snipers do you want, and they each have a respective spirit cost. You don't start with a lot of spirits, you can't go with 20 minions straight away. The further the game progresses, the more spirit you get, the better items you find, the more spirit you get. Each minion does also come with their very own specific ability. I choose the skeletal snipers, the archers already, and they could drop this poison bomb from the sky. That means I can unearth, poison bomb, and my skeletons get automatically summoned. If they ever die in combat, I don't have to look for any corpses or anything. If a boss blasts them away, it doesn't matter. They get resummoned after a time. Then I found my first support gem, and you can juice up your minions with this. Multiple poison damage, have them also break the armor, or for example, have your minions explode when they reach low life. Quite some fun choices already early on. And the gameplay felt pretty good from the very early beginning on. You have your minions, you make new minions with your unearth, and if you choose to kill someone with chaos magic and then raise his corpse with the unearth, you would keep spreading the chaos magic to everyone like a goddamn wildfire. Your minions are also very aggressive going forward, taking the aggro. Yes, if I do run in, I will get in, but it didn't feel like my minions were getting ignored like in other ARPGs and I was getting the hell beaten out of me. Now this is obviously the very early start of the Witch, but she has so much more amazing stuff to come down the line. Just listen to Jonathan about Specters.
This is a bind Specter gem. Using it, I can take the body of any enemy and capture its spirit so that I can keep it as a minion. Any monster can be captured, but the spirit cost depends on how powerful the monster is. It takes a lot of spirit for such a powerful enemy, so I'll have to unsummon a lot of my other minions, but it certainly seems like it might be worth it.
This will be the main fun with playing the Witch and minions, choosing what your army should be. Snipers, warriors, mages, archers, specters. What are you taking into battle with you? And this is not even looking at the ascendancies right now. There we'll have two choices. One is the Infernalist, and the other one is the Bloodmancer. No, there won't be a Necromancer ascendancy that you can skill in. And there's actually a very good reason for it. They want each ascendancy to work with minions. That you're not being pigeonholed in, you have to be a Necromancer. No, you can be an Infernalist with minions, and you can be a Bloodmancer at the end that's also using minions, and it all kind of works together. Let's watch the ascendancies together and talk about the skills. Let's start with the Infernalist and we'll stop at the skills to talk about them.
Witch can ascend into the Infernalist or the Blood Mage. As an Infernalist, she can summon a loyal Hellhound companion. The Hellhound sets enemies on fire, as well as taking a percentage of the damage if the Infernalist gets hit.
To be precise, 20% of the damage from hits is taken from your Hellhound's life before you. That is very important, especially with a demon form that we'll get to. This is bonus to all your minions. Essentially, an even bigger minion army by adding loyal Hellhounds to it.
With Pyromantic Pact, you can turn your mana into Infernal Flame.
Instead of mana, you have Infernal Flame. Casting spells will now stack up Infernal Flame instead of depleting mana. There's a caveat to that. Take maximum life and energy shield as fire damage when Infernal Flame reaches maximum. That means overflowing it might not be the best idea. And as you overflow it, lose all Infernal Flame on reaching maximum Infernal Flame, resetting it to 0. Ergo, you make it max, you take a chunk of damage, and then you start from 0 again. You do want to keep at a certain level though, 30%. We'll get to that. If you don't cast a spell in the last 2 seconds, 10% of Infernal Flame will be lost per second, slowly depleting. You technically don't have to cast all the time, because you have your army of minions with you as well. Now, why do we want to keep a certain level of Infernal Flame?
As you cast more spells, the flame builds up, and if it overflows, you'll take damage. Using Bringer of Flame, you'll want to make sure you keep the flames topped up. While your Infernal Flame is above 30%, all damage from you and your minions will ignite enemies.
Perfection. Just have enough Infernal Flame, and suddenly your whole army turns into a infernal burning army that just does fire damage to everything. You unearth, you summon these unearth constructs. Well, those are your minions too, but there are suddenly fiery unearth constructs that will just burn, and you can make them explode too. Fantastic.
She can also transform into a literal demon. While in demon form, she takes an increasing amount of damage, but her cast speed and damage increase rapidly as well.
As we mentioned, this is why there's no Necromancer. They want you to give something bonus on top of what you're doing. Imagine you're just playing your minion army, but if you want to, you could transform into a literal demon to then just wreak havoc on the battlefield. And there's even a good consideration with your minions together with this.
So if you're planning on transforming into a demon, make sure you stack a lot of life recovery.
Because you take good damage in demon form. You take increasing damage in demon form. If you then choose your minion army to be defensive, a lot of skeletal warriors instead of mages, archers, arsonists, whatever, they'll be soaking up the damage that you're then not taking, together with your hellhound soaking up damage you would be taking, that you can then demon form as hard as possible on top of your minions.
She can also become a blood mage, a master of life and energy. All blood mages must pay the price of making skills cost life as well as mana.
Grant skill life remnants, skills gain a base life cost equal to a base mana cost. From this point on, you're essentially soaking your life empty to deal damage, bringing us back to a defensive minion army that you kind of want to be not taking any bonus damage because you want to use that one to just cast more spells.
But in exchange, every monster they kill will drop life remnants, which allow them to quickly gain back that life.
That's the blood orb, that's the life remnant. So if you kill things, you or your minions kill things, you'll be able to soak back up on life by running through them. And they're pretty vibrant, so you shouldn't be missing them.
With Crimson Power, she can gain large amounts of extra life, and with Vitality Siphon, she can use her spells to leech life back as well.
I guess Vitality Siphon is simple. 10% of spell damage is leeched as life. Do damage, get life back. Use life to do damage to get life back. Infinity loop. The second one, Crimson Power. Gain energy shield from equipped body armor as extra maximum life. Your body armor has energy shield on it. You just gain more max life to be able to dish out more damage, because there is also damage that scales with the more max life you actually have.
Once you've got a significant amount of life, you can use Gore Spike to make
Gore Spike, 1% increased critical strike damage bonus per 20 life. So we just mentioned, get more life, juice out crazy amounts of damage.
your critical hits deal incredible amounts of damage. A monk who...
And this is just scratching the surface of what the witch will be able to do. Not talking about offerings where you can impale your actual minions to give bonuses to everyone, curses, more chaos spells, contagion, hexes, everything. The witch will be a very varied class that promises overall good fun in many directions. Keep in mind, the ascendancy cannot be switched right now. The devs are actually in hardcore talk about this. So you get to choose to be an Infernalist or to be a Bloodmancer at a certain point, and you cannot retract that decision. What you can do, though, is at any point refund any skill point in the passive tree. So try out minions. You don't like that, do something else. You want to rather go for more occult gameplay, you want to go into that chaos magic, no problem. Refund all your nodes for gold and try a different pathing. Everything is open for you. I hope you're as excited for the witch as I am, because I'm absolutely stoked. If you want more information about Path of Exile 2 and that it's definitely not too complicated, enjoy the video, have a fantastic good time. Live streams, guides, everything will be following here. Goodbye.